Hello, welcome to this video, which is an AliExpress slash Wish haul slash several hauls that I got. There's a point in time where I kind of went on a bit of a spree with AliExpress and Wish. I did some kind of looking around, particularly on things like Amazon and stuff like that. Like, there is this whole thing with what I think are called AliExpress resellers, where they'll buy a bunch of stock from AliExpress, or they will get the same stuff that sellers from AliExpress will get, but they'll sell it at a higher price, and depending on where you get it from, you could be talking like 4 times the price or twice the price. And there's a whole debate about those in terms of like, what's the word? Curation, I suppose, and like curating items to like fit a certain style and all that sort of stuff. So I do have some stuff that isn't necessarily from AliExpress, but you can still find it on AliExpress. So the same with Wish, like a lot of stuff, it kind of crosses over. It's not necessarily like you'll only get stuff on one website and you'll only get the other on the other. It's not like they're mutually exclusive. It's not like you can't receive one thing on one website. A lot of the times you will find it on another website. That's not always true. I do find though sometimes it can be hard to try and find the same thing on AliExpress because they use so many different words, even words that don't really relate to the actual product, in order to try and obviously get more searches and stuff like that. So that's a whole thing. But yeah, anyway, I've recently been into like, I don't know what necessarily the style is called. I don't know, it's sort of like kawaii soft girl softness vibes. Like, I've been into like stuff that you can't really get at a lot of any sort of UK stores or fast fashion stores, and even with some of the stuff they won't fit me. It's just so weird. Some of them won't fit me, but some of them I do have plans to modify. Like, I don't know what it would have been up at this point in terms of videos, but in terms of like hoodies, like the school hoodies I did, and these jeans actually. These jeans, like modify them and make them into something slightly different but will fit my figure a lot better, particularly because some of them are just like, they won't fit. Other ones, like, there's not too much to do in terms of making them fit, but other ones is like a lot more. Anyway, so I'm gonna start off with, I didn't actually plan this out. I'm gonna go in kind of like a vague order. I'm not really gonna do specifically like items from Wish and then items from AliExpress, because there's a mix, as I said before, I'm pretty sure. I think we're just going to start off, and I'm just going to show you, and I'll put up like the price and stuff like that, which I haven't gotten to actually screenshot yet, so I don't know the prices off the top of my head, and I'm using my phone to film, so it'll be a pain in the arse to get it up unless I go on my computer and do it. You know what, this was never going to be professional. I'll just show you the first item from AliExpress that I got. That's going to be an interesting thing to transition. Anyway, so this is what I got, which is a huge ass dragon soft toy. I'm not gonna lie, it's like really, really soft. I actually originally was gonna buy this from a different website, which happened to have this at about, I think, 4 times the price, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I ended up getting it off AliExpress instead, and it's like, it would have been the same item. I have no doubts that this just would have been the same item that they were selling, and it was just for like a ludicrously more expensive price. But yeah, I didn't end up getting from them, and I ended up getting from AliExpress instead. Ooh, there's a little bit of tape. But yeah, he's very comfy. He's very, very soft. It's a very similar material to something else that's coming up, which I'll mention in the actual review of that. But yeah, just a big toy. I believe this also came in white, and I think it was like an all-over white kind of situation, and I think it came in like 3 sizes, and this is the biggest size because I wanted just like a big fuck-off toy. Because it was cool. I love soft toys. I have like a huge collection from just like childhood. I literally had so many fucking soft toys. So many. Yeah, so this is one of the ones that I bought. I think this, along with something else, was also on the website. I'll show that next. Oh, and another few things that were actually on the website as well. I'll show those too. But yeah, this is kind of one of the first orders that I made, was this big green boy. Ooh. The next one that I got is this. It's a kind of like plush sweet bag style sort of thing. It has this absolutely adorable little thing, picture thing bottom of it. I'll show like a little bit more close up and stuff like that, footage of it as well. Yeah, it's basically like a sweet bag. There's a zipper on the top which you can unzip, and then it's got a bunch of these little soft toy bunnies in them. There's pink ones and white ones in this particular one. Also on the inside it's rather like plush. Like there's this lining here and then it's got kind of fluff on the inside of it, which I really like. I like that it's quite like a squishy thing. I really want to make one of these, to be honest. I have like a sticker idea which is very similar to this kind of idea, which kind of like the sweet bag window style with little things inside, which I need to get on with, but I've got so much other things to do. Anyway, yeah, it's very, very cute and I love it. I love it just as like a thing. There was a bunch of different styles of this. So there was obviously this strawberry bunny one. There was a pig, like strawberry, I think maybe strawberry, might be strawberry. Pig one. There was like, I think a bluey kind of penguin one. There was, I know there was like a yellow and a green one. Like there was a bunch of different ones with this sort of style, and it's just like, I don't know, I just think it's so cute. It sits on like at the back of like my Amuse. Is it Amuse? Amuse? I don't know. But my like llama and all the rest of them, it kind of sits behind there, and it's like just a nice kind of like background piece for me. Okay, so next few things were also on our site that I ended up getting stuff from AliExpress instead. So there was a bunch of different ones of these, particularly like fluffy, kind of soft. Actually, they're very soft. Again, it's like the same kind of fluffiness. You know, these two are definitely more fluffy. It's kind of a similar kind of softness to the dragon, but this one here, which around my arm, is velvet. It's not like, well, I don't know if it's actually velvet, but velvet feeling, you know what I mean? These ones are kind of small. Like, hold on, I'll put on one of these. I can, usually the way I do it is I would do it like around my face and then pull it back, but that would not work with how small these things are. So like, I have to do it where I have to kind of like shove it down all in one circle. Whew. And then for it to sit kind of nicely on my head, I kind of need to have it at like an angle, like that. Because usually I would have it a bit more back, but if I do that, it just looks off. But it still stays on pretty well, and you know, I've been using it kind of, if my hair is like still drying from the shower or something, then like I put it on with my hair in like a braid, so I don't put it up into a ponytail or anything. It keeps it away from my face. So I have these two. I have this blue ram's horn one, which is super cute. I believe this came in a few colors as well. I have this white moose one. There were definitely a few. I think there was a grey one with brown horns that I was debating on getting. But yeah, this one, however, is a lot looser. It's a kind of Sailor Moon Luna one, and for this one, like the stretch is all the way around it. For this one, the stretch is just in this little band at the back, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, that's what I mean in terms of by like I would, you know, like hold it down and then kind of put it around my head. But yeah, it's a lot looser. It's a little less strong as these ones are, because these ones are tighter. But you know, it still looks pretty cute. I still really like it, to be honest. They are super, super nice. I should stand here. Oh wow, I should have been doing that. Okay. We have these, which are really, really nice. I do really like them. To be honest, I would debate on getting like maybe a different style as well, because I do wear them quite often when it comes to like nighttime. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, this little like moon bit here is embroidered. It's really nice. I quite like it. It's quite a nice loose one as well. So like if I'm getting kind of a bit like of a headache or like just not feeling the tighter ones, I can throw this one on. So this is not actually like the full thing. The full thing technically still hanging above like a bit on my wardrobe to use for filming and all that jazz. But it's this bed set. So it came with 2 pillows like these things, or 2 pillowcases even, and a big single duvet sheet, or duvet cover, that's the word. I bought it originally for my chair because my chair is one of those, I think they're called box chairs or whatever the fuck, but it's quite old, like very old, and the faux leather bit is kind of flaking off, and I originally had just like a dressing gown over the bottom of it, just because the flaking was mainly on the bottom but started flaking at the top. So I've decided the best way of doing it is literally to use, because we don't have any single duvets in this house anymore, Like even for me, I don't have a double bed, but I still use like a double duvet. Yeah, so this is for my chair, but I ended up using it as a background for my filming, which if I was going to be filming here for a bit longer, I probably would get a little bit better because I don't have like a filming place. I'm filming in my sister's room, which is just like a spare room now, but it's quite nice. It is like just, it's not like the softest thing in the world, but it's enough. Oh, I think I said if I was going to be filming more. Did I actually finish that thought? I might not have finished that thought. If I was filming more, I probably would have gotten either another one of this or another kind of type of pattern in a either king or like the largest size, and then set it up on my wardrobe so it kind of covered it a bit more because my wardrobe mess. Hence why I'm filming in front of this one instead. So yeah, it's fairly good. It was like, you know, very good for the price. That's also a thought if someone wants to start filming and they don't really have a place to film, but they have an area where they can hang up like a big thing. Could be a good idea to do that. But yeah, it's fairly nice. I don't know if I'd necessarily go and use this to like specifically sleep in. I feel like you kind of get what you pay for with certain things, so like I would pay more something more to get something a bit more expensive from something like, I don't know, even just like Tesco. Something a bit nicer. I had to. I had to get one of these. You've probably seen them if you like kawaii, or like for a while I was watching the kawaii aesthetic TikToks, like that sort of thing. You've probably seen these cat paw pillows for your seats and stuff like that. It is super nice. I do really like it. Again, it's, as I said before, like the dragon is the same kind of material. The material on the paw is slightly more, I don't know if it's the same material, but shone, but like it's slightly, or shorn? I mean, I think shorn is the term, I don't know. But it's slightly like closer to the thingy, but it's not like coarse or anything, so yeah, it's really, really nice. It's summer right now, and we were going through a heat wave, but now we're into the monsoon storm deal, or whatever it's called. I don't think it's a monsoon. The rainy season, as it usually is in Scotland, which is like the majority of the year. But yeah, like I've mostly been sitting, because it's meant to kind of sit like that, but I've mostly been sitting with it the other way around, and then my legs are kind of on these two bits, because I find this bit is kind of a bit too plush. It kind of pushes you a bit too far forward for me. So yeah, but I mean, you can sit with it any way around, like you're just being held by a capo. Either way, so it is quite nice. I think a lot of people tend to, I forgot what I was saying because I got distracted. Oh yes. Okay, I don't remember what I was saying, but I thought of something new to say. There was a bunch of different colours of this. You can get it in all sorts of colours. I got one which was obviously blue and pink with heart kind of toe beam things. You can just get one with circles. You don't need to get one with anything else, but it is really nice. I think that, oh yeah, as I was saying before I dropped the bloody thing, I think it's really good for if you have like those gaming chairs, like that don't really have a lot of padding in them. My one does have a fair amount of padding, but I find it is kind of like been squished down over the years, so this does definitely help a lot. So yeah, I think it's pretty good, particularly if you have like chairs that are particular, because this is on a chair and my plan is to also put this onto that chair as well, so, and it's just like a normal dining room chair, so yeah. Okay, so next, this is actually off of Wish, and as you can hear, I've got money in it because I use it. It's basically like a Sailor Moon kind of style bag. It's really, really cute. Style bag? Clutch, I think it's called? Or a purse? I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. But I was kind of needing one that was a bit thicker because my wallet that I was previously using, which was from I think Nyomyn, if I remember correctly. It is really good. I really do like it. But it was falling apart. I'd used it so much. So I just decided to get a bigger one, particularly because I had a bit more cards, and I was finding that like coins and stuff wouldn't really stay that well in the wallet, and I was like, I kind of want to have a bigger purse that then I can, you know, have maybe a wallet that is just like, I chuck some cards, you know, from this into that, and that's everything sorted, and I can have that. But you know, if I have a bigger bag with me, I can then take this folder with me. So I do. But yeah, it's really nice. The inside, anyway. So it's got obviously the two sides. It's got a bit in the middle here, like a little pocket bit. There's a zip bit on the inside that you can hold coins in. I've been holding like change in the zip bit, and then bits that are like bigger coins on one of the outside areas. Now, there are card slots for you to put your card in. but when you put your cards in them, they just come up a bit too tall, I'm finding. Like, I'm just checking my driver's license in it, and I find it's just a bit too tall. In the middle it's fine. It's not as tall. But when you kind of try and put it into the slots, I do find that the cards don't really fit. And they don't fit sideways. I do kind of wish that they'd just done it. Oh, they do fit sideways. I'm lying. But they're also very, very tough to get out. So, mainly, not saying I have a lot of bank accounts, it's just mainly like, just, you know, Hobbycraft card or a Malan card. Like, just a bunch of different things. I'm not all that rich. Anyway, not after this. This counts up, surprisingly. But yeah, it is really super cute. I've been meaning to watch Sailor Moon again because I did watch a bunch of it years ago. But I have not been watching any since, and I really, really want to. But yeah, this came in a bunch of different colors. There was even like a black and a pink one, if I remember correctly, but I just got like the normal kind of blue and pinky one. I thought it was really, really cute. But yeah, I think there's ones that for like the red one, the green one, and the yellow one, and all that jazz, which you could arguably sell after the sailors. I was like, what's the name? So yeah, there was this little button thing, but it's like secure on there as well, this little button thing, so you don't have to worry too much about that falling off. This is one thing I got off of Wish as well, which again you may have seen. It is this umbrella. It's just a pink umbrella with like Sakura flowers on it. It's got a black frame on the inside of it, which to be honest I think is cool, but you know, depending on what you like, you might have preferred like a white one or a pink one or something. It's quite nice. It's obviously just like a plasticky one. I just bought it because like, I don't know, I need an umbrella and I kind of wanted one that's cute and kawaii and shit. So it's what it looks like. There's also little dots on it as well, like little white dots. That's part of the fabric, it's not like from anything. But yeah, it's just cute. There was another one that I was eyeing up, which was a deer. It was like a forest around the outside with deer in it, and it was cute, and I was like, but yeah, I have used it. Like, it's fine. It's an umbrella. Like, don't know what else to tell you other than it's an umbrella. Anyway, so I bought a couple t-shirts. This first t-shirt is just like, I don't remember why exactly I did this. Like, I could have done this myself, to be honest. And the moon does stretch, unfortunately, which is annoying. But I have this one, which is just like a tie-dye pattern, but with a moon on it. And I'm tempted to do a kind of like DIY myself, because my plan is to DIY a bunch of stuff that I have to try and make it into something that's like I will wear, you know. So obviously I'm just trying to see the camera because it's like, this is a better lighting, but this is where I can actually see. Actually, you know what, hold on a sec. Because I was like, I could see from this side, but I couldn't really see from this side, but I'm gonna need to move it back when I need to actually view back here. But anyway, so as you can see, like the moon kind of stretches a little bit on me and my figure, but it's also like, it's a stretchy material. It's not something that's like, it's a t-shirt, you know, it's like a cheap t-shirt. It's not really like a fantastic material quality, but it looks nice. And to be honest, my plan was to put this under my black dungarees that I have, and I think that would look nice. It's some like purple accents or something, I don't know. Anyway. Right, I also have this other shirt. This is slightly, it's similar, but it's slightly more like smooth, like spandexy smooth, like sportswear smooth, this one. So it's just this picture of like clouds, it's really pretty, night sky sort of deal. I really want to get more over, what's it called? All over, that's where, all over print, like tops I can wear under like dungarees and stuff like that, or wear with like these sorts of like high-waisted, that I made high-waisted myself sort of deal things. So it has an embroidered like pig on the front of it, which I originally thought was a pug, to be honest, which is why I ended up getting this from a different website than AliExpress, but I did find it on AliExpress. The next item I show will be an item that I got from the same thing. I think it's Spree Picky or something. It's basically like an AliExpress reseller, but again with the whole argument with like curation and picking out items and kind of putting them in a better format and all that jazz sort of deal applies to it. So it does fit on me. Again, a little bit tighter. It's meant to be oversized, but the thing about it is like oversized is never going to be oversized on me for the most part. So at the end of the day, part of me is just like I'm going to pick and choose my battles. So again, these ones I would wear like tucked into, like kind of like tucked into this or something, like with maybe a top or whatever on top, or hoodie, or yeah. Like that's the idea for these ones. But yeah, I'm trying to remember if I was saying something or anything else about this. Yeah. But I really like the cloud design on it. Like I think it's so cute. I really want to possibly take like a white top and then do like a cloud pattern onto it or something like that. I do have a white turtleneck that I could do with something on it, to be honest. But it is fairly stretchy, but again it's like it'd probably sit tighter on larger figures. I should probably mention that this could actually be like a plus sizey thing in a way, because I am plus size. I am plus size. Anyway. Okay, so this top isn't a part of it. This top you've seen before. I gifted it as a Christmas present. I thought it would look nice because it's like stars, which is the same as the skirt, which is what we're talking about now. The skirt isn't actually technically complete because basically it wouldn't fit on me just as it was. I have another video which, again, 2 of these items are going to be with a video where I edit them and kind of make them a little bit better or a little bit more fitting to me, and this is one of them. Basically I had to just add an extra bit of fabric on the underneath of the skirt and then unpick the 2 layers of mesh fabric and then just reattach it around the waistline. And I still need to sew the 2 bits of mesh together, but I decided to film this video so then I could actually sew a little bit more of the original pieces in a way, because there's some that I really want to do stuff with like now, but I need to wait a little bit before I can do those. But yeah, I really like this skirt. I would definitely say one thing about it is the stars do get glitter everywhere. It's quite fine glitter, it's not too disruptive or anything, but I really do like it. I really do like it. I do like just like a nice kind of a little bit more of a fancy skirt. And I am also still wearing the jeans because I could rest taking them off. But yeah, so this had obviously a little bit of editing to do in order to make it fit me, but you know, I think it was worth it for me. So, and obviously if you're smaller than me, then this would fit you fine. Like, it's got an elastic waist. So really quickly before we get into the rest of the clothes, because I realized I just started going into the clothes now, I got this backpack. Now this one I did see the photos and the back is different from this. It's also 10 centimeters smaller than they said it was, which is kind of annoying because I do pay attention to the sizing of stuff. Yeah, unfortunately there was a thing as well with the jumper coming up where the size in terms of the length of it is 4 centimeters shorter than they said it was going to be, which was really annoying because it's literally almost a size down in terms of the actual sizing of it. But then obviously because they tend to put a disclaimer being like, oh, like leave X amount of room for, you know, the actual making of the garment and like all that jazz, it can be a bit annoying because it's like if it was those 4 centimeters longer, it would sit nicely enough that I would keep it that way, but I'm gonna have to change it now, sort of deal. So this is 10 centimeters shorter. I do have a bag which is 10 centimeters taller, and it does definitely make a difference in terms of the size of bag. The rest of it is pretty much the same as what it says, other than the back. The back is like, on the customer reviews and on the thing itself, it looked like a normal backpack strap. Like, you know, I'll show photos of it and stuff like that, but obviously this is not that. Like, it doesn't have that padding bit, it's just 2 straps with a, whatever you call this adjuster thing, which is really annoying because I do quite like the front, I do like the way it looks, but I wanted a bigger bag, so I'm still gonna keep it, but it is one of those things where it's like, I'm just a little annoyed because it's like, this is one of the first ones where it's a big margin, like, of difference between what they say and what it was. This is another Sailor Moon bag thing I got off of AliExpress. This is weird because it's got like this bump in it. Like, this is a bump, and then where the heart is, there's also like a bump here. But on the inside it's just like flat, but there's just these bumps on it. It's quite smooth, which is fine. I think it does kind of scuff a little easily though. There is these clips here which is just like a pink clip leading to a pink little band thing that you can obviously use to carry it around with if you want to. I'm storing makeup in this, but basically there's two nets on the inside, one on the inside bit here, which I think is quite long. One's long and one's short, but I can't remember exactly which bit is long and which bit is short. But yeah, I've just basically been using this for makeup, but you probably could use it as like a lunchbox if you really wanted to. Now also that lunchbox is also really good for the price. Okay, so now there's already a video which, along with this and the skirt, is gonna be me like making it into a different thing, maybe slightly longer. I do like the length of this, but unfortunately this is it unpicked. It's shorter when it is actually picked. It also does not zip up here, like lower down. Around the top it's perfectly fine, but I want to extend it so it will zip up a little bit. I also took out a bit of elastic that was sitting in here, mainly because the way they folded it made it super itchy, but it did kind of like gather at the sleeves, like that sort of deal. So probably puff out, but I kind of like the looser kind of fit. There was also a bit of elastic around the bottom here that like you could tighten in if you wanted to. And there's also little pockets. I think it's quite nice, although it is kind of itchy and I do have sunburn and I feel like it's kind of itching that a little bit. I feel like if you don't like itchy things, you're probably not going to be alright with this. I think the biggest thing is like they do this where on the inside the collar, but they fold it in, and the main real scratchy bit is the outside where the little stars and stuff are, so it kind of is a lot more scratchy around there. It's also kind of scratchy when you lift up your arms, you might get poked by a star or a moon or two, but I quite like it. I do quite like it. I think like this sort of thing, like with these shorts and like maybe even this top would look kind of cute. But yeah, obviously if you're smaller than me it probably would fit you perfectly fine. But again, it is quite itchy, so be wary of that. So yeah, in the first lot of fabric I got was this lot. Basically, I got another one where it actually showed where the gradient was, like a customer image showed where the gradient was coming from, because I originally wanted the gradient to, it's folded over right now, the gradient to come from the bottom to the top, and with the longest part obviously being the way the longest part is now, it's also just a bit too of a light blue when it comes to like that. It's just a bit too light and I wanted it to be darker. The photos did show like this kind of dark blue to it, but you know, I'm not gonna, you know, send this back, throw it away or whatever. I will probably be able to use it on something, even if I were just to literally like go ahead and like chuck it as like, I don't know, like an outer layer for like a skirt or something. Really cute. Or I could use the white fabric in this because it's the same moon, star and sort of circle glittery fabric, except it's too light of blue for me. Alright, so in terms of fabrics, I have gotten this ruffly fabric. I'll show it on here. And I got 10 meters of it because my plan is to use it to make something else, which I will have another video on that later on. It's something that like I have seen on AliExpress specifically, but it wouldn't, it's not my size, it would never fit me. So I've gotten some material to try and make it myself and see if it's doable, sort of deal. I also have this for it as well, which is another bunch of fabric, which is just like a lace kind of mesh with little like sweet designs on it. Like I'll show it over here, it's pretty much accurate to what it shows. I also got this, which is 2 lace wings. So like these, you can see them. They're pretty much accurate to the picture. Again, I have an intention to use these as something, but like I don't know whether I'm gonna have the time to use it. And then I also have these, which is again another lace wing pair, but it's this kind of like layered, like multiple lace wings sort of deal. Like that's kind of thing. It was shown I think on the shoulder as well. So, but anyway. But there's 2 of them, they're just connected by 2 bits of string like that. Anywho, but those would be for something else, and if I actually get around to doing that, I'll show them more. But they're pretty much the size, right? And they're pretty good for what you get, particularly if you're planning on possibly just like breaking apart the lace or whatever or the lace wing or whatever. I'd probably say that layered wing, you could get like, cut it into individual feathers, like layer it however you wanted sort of deal if you were so inclined. So next I have a couple of jumpers. So we have this one. It's a very like, this was more pink, but it's a very kind of orange kind of color, less so pink I find. It's got like this sort of lacy bit at the collar and then this little cute bow at the front, and then it's got a little sheep with like a strawberry thing. I believe this also came in purple, but I don't know what kind of purple that would be if this is so like orangey pink. It's got a little sheep and it says the Sissy Shepherd. Right, so for this one, I'm going to edit the hues. It is too tight. I'm gonna film my head today. Ooh, it's just like too tight on me. I've already busted some seams just trying this on. There it goes. It's just too tight on me, which to be honest I expected. The inside of the fabric is like so nice, and to be honest, I think if I remember correctly the price for this one, it was fairly cheap. I'm tempted to buy another one and then literally just take a whole like swath of the back fabric, just add it onto the sides so it's like this big kind of billowiness to it, take the sleeves and then make an extra length of the sleeves and make it like super kind of puffy. But at the same time, I've also been tempted to just basically take this collar bit, because it's kind of just sitting down and weird, make it into like a V and then crop this and then use this material here in the sleeves to make like bigger sleeves and then have it be like a crop with bigger sleeves. I don't quite know yet, so we'll have to wait and see with that one, but you know, I might buy another one and just do what I originally intended. But yeah, the fabric is like super nice on the inside. It's a very nice kind of fleece. But yeah, so I've got a few things I could do with this one. I'm not entirely sure as of yet, but I'm probably going to edit this one. But yeah, again, it's like very nice for the price as well, because I think it's pretty cheap. Next one. So this one is another jumper. So obviously in the pictures the separation between like the strawberry and the stuff was a little bit darker, like that kind of pink I think was a little bit more darker pink, or it was like a, I can't remember. You'll see it on the side there when I get it up. So with this one, I do intend to edit this one as well. My plan is, I think I'm going to turn this into like a sweater bag, possibly. I'll put it on. So again, it is a bit too tight. I think it's a bit too like just generally tight, I think. Yeah, like around the shoulders for me it's very tight. I feel like where the sleeves are, I don't massively like that. Again, it's supposed to be oversized, so you know, but I think my plan is going to be, I'm literally going to take the sleeves and literally make them into a part of this fabric, so this loosens up a bit more. I would again, I think, make this into like a more of a V-neck, thin the straps up a bit more, and see what else I could do. Possibly even like paint the strawberry a little bit more detail and kind of add a little bit more to it. But yeah, I think again, if you're smaller than me, it might do, but even then, like the kind of sleeve portion is quite small too, quite short even. So again, a lot of stuff on AliExpress when it's oversized, it's like goes up a centimeter each time. It's kind of annoying. Like I feel like even if it went up like 3 or 4 centimeters per time, like it would be a lot more accessible in terms of sizing. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna edit those and make those into something different. Now, I'm probably gonna film this video like intro after this. So I have a 2-piece set. This is the skirt. Obviously it won't fit me, unfortunately. However, I bought another one of these, and I'm going to pretty much just unpick the seam, attach them together, and that should make it plenty wide enough. It is pretty stretchy, but as with this sort of kind of woven material, the more it gets stretched, the more see-through it becomes, which I think obviously is a bit of a problem when, you know, you want to cover your ass with fabric to not have it be shown through. But I suppose like I could also make an extra thing, like a little slip underneath it, like I did with some other stuff, in order to make it a thing. But anyway, that's what's happening with this skirt, but it won't fit me at this point in time. Now, this bad boy. Okay, so one thing I'll point out as well, just right off the bat. So these kind of sleeves, I was, to be honest, usually it's like this sort of kind of ribbed sort of section that usually comes on the end, but it's just kind of like this sewn section where it's just another bit of the thing that's kind of off cut and slightly tight around the wrist sort of deal. But I think what I said was okay, but I don't know. I'm going to put this on because it barely fits me, but I can put it on and I want to showcase something. Right, so it barely fits me, but again, because I have the second one, I'm going to pretty much make, you know, take the material from that and use it to make this one a bigger one. The sleeves are kind of weird because they're kind of tight, but they're not tight. It's weird. Okay, anyway, so yeah, as you can see, it's not the best fit. It feels kind of tight towards the area at the top of the shoulders. It's not actually that bad looking, but it does stretch a lot, so you can see. My black vest underneath it, particularly when you look in the mirror. I don't know about on the camera, and particularly with this changing lighting because I keep stepping in front of the thing. Anyway. So it is very, very cute, but my plan is to use material from the previous one, use the sleeves to make the sleeves like twice as wide, use the material to make this wider, and use a bit of the material up at the top of the shoulders to make this wider as well. So hopefully it'll help kind of just wind things up a little bit, hopefully make them slightly looser, but also help to kind of stop the stretching so much and just stop it from feeling so tight, particularly around these areas. Like, just give it a bit more of a looser fit, like it says, or like it looks like as well. It does match the material here. I'd maybe say this is like a slightly more yellowy cream than like this is, but yeah. Anyway, so it does barely fit. I mean, literally the bottom of my bra is like right here. So it's really not a lot of distance here. But hopefully with the extension of the shoulders, extension of the sides and all that jazz, I can then kind of take things in and all that jazz afterwards and make it into more of what I want it to be. And I probably would use some of the material from the other bit to make little actual proper nice things rather than this, because I'm not really a fan of it, to be honest. And also it would make it reach past my hands, which would be nice. Anyway, okay, so that's those ones. So again, it's like, it would fit you, but would it, if you're my size particularly, again, if you're not willing to put in the effort to actually properly kind of like make them into something nice, I feel like it'll do alright, but it won't be the best ever. So now we're gonna get into the socks slash stockings side of things. Okay, so I bought a bunch of these trainer socks, which is this really cute mochi pattern. See it on there as well. Just a really cute mochi pattern, like strawberry mochi, very, very cute. I'm wearing them right now. They're quite nice. They are a stack of 5, so I got 5 of them, and they're just really, really cute. So I got those. I got a bunch of these longer socks. So I got this strawberry milk sort of deal one. I got a coffee one there, and I got, I think the milk one was there, so I got this white milk one as well. I just thought they were really cute, and I wanted to kind of have more longer socks that had like a nice cute design on them, that I could kind of like wear longer socks and not worry about like, oh, you can see them sort of deal, because they'd be cute and I want to show them off. There's that strawberry one. Then I have this one, which has Bright Moon on it. I don't know if that's supposed to be a brand or not. And then I have this white one, which is just the opposite kind of coloring to the other one. Just cute moons. Okay, so I got a bunch of these cute, like they're more like tight kind of material stockings. I'm not taking any of these ones out of the bag, mainly because I think they do kind of scuff a wee bit, they get marks and scuff quite a bit, or quite quickly at least. But I thought they were just super, super cute. However, I will demonstrate with these ones because I have to do them going to figure out what I needed to do and all this sort of stuff. So we have this one, which is just obviously cute, kind of night, weirdly like armory rose one. Very, very stretchy. It does fit me. The top does have a little bit of elastic in it. Did it? No, I think the top is just kind of it folded over, but it does kind of create a little bit more of tension, a little bit more tension at the top. It is quite tight on my thigh. I do have a plan to add in some white stocking material and kind of use silk paints to paint on some patterns to make it similar to this, possibly even add like a little bit of ribbon to add like a little corseted detail or something. Basically, I do want these to work, but they're gonna need just a bit of help because they stretch a little bit too much. Not my thighs, my calves. I'm thinking of the wrong part of the fucking leg. Right, anyway, these ones, however, these ones are super cute. They're just obviously round socks with a little bow on the side, a little bit of lace at the top. I will need to also extend this one a wee bit, but it's quite nice. But again, when it gets up to about here or so, but it gets super tight. So I will probably cut a little bit on the side and maybe add like, maybe above the bow, like a little bit of a brown like lacing detail at the top or something. But yeah, those are those ones. There's these ones, which are long boy ones, which again kind of have the same sort of problem, where again they get quite tight towards the top of the thigh. Or well, not the top of the thigh, but you know, the thigh in general. The rest of it's fine, but again I probably need to do that thing where I cut a slit down and then add more sock material or whatever. It's slightly harder with the colour ones to find like sock material that can be done. I have already bought just a cheap pack of socks from like Tesco with to pair up with these black ones. And basically, I've already slid this one down the side. Basically, my plan is to add in the sock material here, and then that will go on the inside of the thigh, because these ones are quite long ones. I think these ones are the 80cm ones. It's quite nice, quite like really nice fabric. Nicer than the fabric that I got for the socks at Tesco. So yeah, at the end of the day, these ones are quite nice. Alright, so the reason it's so kind of frayy at the top, I need to just go in with something and just seal it again, is because there was a bit of elastic at the top that I had to cut through, which I think was also helping to kind of hold these bits down, and it now fits a lot better on my leg. But yeah, this is how high they fit. They're quite nice. They're very warm, they're nicely knit. They're not itchy for me, but they might be itchy for you, because they're kind of that material that I feel like is fine for me, but I could definitely see people who have more sensitive skin not liking it. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah, I just need to kind of go in and sort out this hem bit, and I think it'll be fine. It does stand up fairly well on its own, I think mainly because it's so tight around the thick part of my calf, so it's standing up fairly nicely on its own. I haven't worn it for like hours and hours on end, so you may need to hike it up every so often, but I can see you doing it with most of these stockings and stuff. I feel like unless it's like just under the knee, a lot of stuff is going to probably fall down a little bit, but that seems to be par for the course. I do have another pair of these because I was tempted to just like take a bunch of this fabric and then like double it up with this bit of fabric here and then just make it so it comes like right up my thigh, but I don't know if I want to do that. Part of me is tempted just to keep those ones, and then what I can do is replace them if these ones get funky, if they get like too worn out, because I'll probably come winter time I'll be wearing these. So this knit one is really nice. It makes me want to learn how to like crochet so I can crochet like, or knit or whatever the fuck, some like really long, like basically almost pants length sock like just to be like right up there and just like live in them. Anyway, I think that's all pretty much the thigh high things. Let's get into the wigs. So I bought a bunch of wigs. I believe all of these are from Wish, I think. I'm not gonna bother putting these on properly because I need to do stuff with them to actually get them to work and all this jazz, so I'm kind of just like, I don't care enough to warrant me actually properly putting them on. I haven't put this on properly because I can't be arsed putting it on properly. But yeah, this is just like a cheap curled wig. I think it's perfectly doable for what I want to do with it. It's a cosplay wig. I'm going to be using it for cosplay. This is not to fool anyone. The reason why I chose this, I was going to say uranium yellow, but I don't even know if uranium is yellow. But yeah, I basically chose this wig because, or this color, this very yellow color, because I plan on cosplaying as well, and I will have a video of me using old work trousers, old jumpers and stuff like that and making a cosplay out of those because I have a lot of materials at home, and yeah, this was basically going to be the wig for it. I think I'll probably need to go through it and try and style it a little bit better just to try and curb the flyaways. I will need to go ahead and also probably chop the fringe a bit as well because it's just it's way too long, which I think they usually make on purpose. But yeah, there's a reason why I chose this kind of like yellow blonde wig, was because of cosplay, and there will be a video, but yes, that'll be a video on its own of me making that whole thing. Now I have two more very similar ones. These ones come with little space buns, which are just basically buns with a crocodile clip. Is it a crocodile clip? No, whatever that jaw clip is. It came with that. I've been always wanting to get like a bob wig as well, like a cute ass bob wig. This one fringe is a lot shorter. Woo! Kadoki! Alright, so this is the second wig. It is a kind of bluey purple, pink, half blend, half wig. Hold on. It's kind of like a bluey purple. I feel like depending on the light it might be more blue and maybe more purple. It's kind of like a periwinkle, maybe I'd say. It's almost more blue towards the ends than it is towards the top. It's kind of more purpley, I feel like. But yeah, anyway, this is a wig. Part of me, I really want to have the confidence to just go out in a wig and just not really give a shit that it's a wig. Maybe during winter time and maybe with some of the more soft girl stuff I will wear it. But yeah, anyway, this is this one. I really like it. I think it's really cute. I have another one. I feel like that's one of the things about it is like these are cheapish wigs, like they're not amazing, they're pretty good. I feel like if I were to take some time to style it and properly go through the process of styling and all that jazz, like I've heard that like when it comes to styling wigs and stuff like that, like it's a bit of a process and it's not like an easy thing to do. It's also very different. Apparently it's different from human hair, so you gotta kind of be aware of that. I want to really have the space to be able to have these wigs on a stand, not to chuck them in a bag, but I don't have the space. And oh, I forgot, that wig also came with this headband too, because it came with either the space buns or the headband or both, and so I chose both. Threw them down actually for you to be able to see them. But yeah, anyway, it looks weird because again my hair is just completely laid flat, but I feel like with the wig it might look a little bit better than just like putting it back. It's alright, it's not the best. I want to make ears because I think the animated ear sort of stuff is just like so fucking cool, and I'll need to probably make some for my Noelle cosplay, along with some antlers too, so, but that will be in that video as I stated before. So this one's kind of got a little bit of blue in it as well, but it's another kind of half and half wig, which is a mint green this time and a pink, which I think is super cute. There's like a flower pattern on the inside of this, huh? On the inside of this, there's like a flower pattern. You can see it there, the flowers. That's interesting, I didn't notice that before. I do have a couple of short hair wigs, which are kind of like a couple 2 or 3 inches long, I think, maybe, or so. So they're alright, but they're not the best. To be honest, I kind of want to take those and style those, but I don't know who I would style them after. But yeah, anyway, I feel like those might be a good chance to like just fuck up and just be like, oh well, but these ones I kind of want to make sure they're done nicely, you know what I mean? Anyway. So obviously quite similar to the pink and blue one, but I feel like this pink is a lot lighter, and I feel like it's also just like a lighter cut because the green's lighter as well. Like, I could arguably, now that I have this wig on. Yeah, see, I feel like with the wig, it looks a bit better. Also, it's sitting in front of my ears right now, which is kind of weird. It does seem to be falling a lot though as well. I think also as well, even having them down to the side, like sort of deer ear style, I feel like also looks a lot better with the wig because of the volume. And I think as well, like, I don't know, I feel like with wigs, they tend to have kind of more volume towards the front. I feel like particularly with these ones with the fringe, which is kind of barely covering my noggin. I think I also have this kind of tilted back quite far. I have it tilted far back right now because the fringe, again, is too long, which I think is the point of wigs is you can cut them to where you need them to be. But obviously the wig actual front bit is here, whereas my hair is like here. So a good like 2 centimeters away from the front of my hair. So when it actually does sit in place, you know, there's still like a fair amount that's towards the front. Whereas I feel like with hair, you're usually kind of more back and you can kind of get a bit more volume with it. I don't know, I just think like the wig really does help with the ears thing. I think that if you just had your hair down, it doesn't look quite as good, particularly compared to curly sort of wigs that are a little bit more voluminous. Which again, I still need to style and I still need to kind of like get a little bit better and a little bit. I think that it did come curled and I think it is alright, but again, I think it's difficult because I know with some wigs like you're better off not combing through them, but they also tend to get tangled quite easily, particularly when they're curled like this. So I'm tempted, I probably just would brush through them and then hopefully be able to correct them. And these are touted as heat resistant, but I don't know how heat resistant that is. I suppose I do have the space buns as well. I could try out the hair, cut a bit off of that, and then try out the hair that way. I do have curling tongs, but I would not use them on this. I think the most I would do is I've heard that you can use curling sponges? No, rolling plastic roll things. You can use those and like a steamer, and that helps to like form the hair without necessarily having like direct heat on it or something. I can't remember. But yeah, anyway. I also got space buns with the other one too, or with this one too. I'll actually show you with this one because I didn't bother last time. I can be ours. Basically, so these have a crocodile clip in them. I don't know if it's a crocodile, whatever the hell this clip is. And also a hairband attached to them. So you could do it where you have it so that it is like the opposite like that or something. Like you could do a bunch of stuff with it, and I think that just like wigs are so cool, and I really want to start wearing more of them because I don't know who doesn't want to just be able to like chuck something on and be like, I have completely different hair now. Like, who doesn't want to do it? Great. Anyway, whoo! I'm trying to think if there's anything else because, oh, shoes. I was like, oh, I think I'm done. I don't think there's anything else. There's shoes to do today. So I have 2 pairs of shoes. Well, technically 3. I have 2 types of shoes. Now, one of these shoes, I'm probably, well, 2 pairs of these, I'm probably going to be giving these away, but one of them I will definitely be keeping because I really do like it. So, I will show the ones that I cannot wear, unfortunately, because they're definitely more of a size 6, if not size 5 with these ones. So these are these totally cool ass cloud platform trainer shoes. They are quite nice. I mean, it is pretty much as you can see. I do think they're great because they do in person. I don't know if you can see that on camera. You can't really see it on camera so much, but there is like right now what I'm seeing is like this blue, purple to blue, and then this kind of like orangey, kind of pinky, almost like that. So see the shepherd thing, and then kind of like going back to that. It is quite a cool ass shoe, but this is the largest size, which was a 40, and I did see someone on a review say, oh, I'm a size 41 and it fits fine. I'm a size 41 EU, size 7 UK. These don't fit fine, unfortunately. They just don't fit me. Also, as a side note, do not put pressure onto these little pin bits here because one did ping off, unfortunately for me. But I was able to kind of get it slightly back on, but not the best. Again, with these sorts of shoes, you know, I think that, because they are still quite nice. I would definitely say the chunkiness, the glitter and stuff does kind of, in a way, make it look a little weird, but like the rest of it. But that's these shoes. I think you'd be fine if it was a size 6 or a size 5, but a size 7, like my little toe just gets crushed on the inside. But they are very, very fucking pretty. I just wish they were my size. I think my plan for these shoes, if like I want to get rid of them, I'm probably gonna ask if anyone in the chat wants these because they are very nice. It would also take away cost of shipping because they're not super light. Like they are still a fair chunk, and one of the biggest things that will up your fucking pricing for shipping is the size and the weight of your packaging. Because there's like 4 different categories, and if you ain't in one, you're in the other one. The framing's slightly different, but I hope you can still see the shoes because I cannot tell from here. Okay, I think you can see them if I stay around about this area. Oh, okey-doke. Alright, so how are we looking? Can you see the shoes? Yes. Okay, so if you have been on AliExpress or Wish or whatever, particularly if you have been looking up kawaii stuff, I feel like these shoes are probably going to be on your list. So now with these ones, again, there's a little bit of a problem with in terms of sizing. These ones are 43 and they fit a lot more like a 41. Like I would definitely say 41. Like my heel is not quite 100% touching the back as much as it was the other one, but it definitely is closer to it than the other one. So I have worn these out. See a little bit of scuffing there. It does scuff kind of easily, but again, you know, a lot of our shoes scuff really easy. So I really like them. I don't wear heels. This is probably the tallest shoes I have. I have a pair of wedges, but they don't have the big platform at the bottom of the toe. Now, as I said before, I have 3 pairs, right? I have another pair of these that was 42 because I sized up and they fit, but they were a close fit. So I didn't really bother so much with those. I wore them around a little bit, but I decided I would try and do this, and then I could easily sell those back if I need to. Because I can't really sell back the other ones. But I really like these. I really like the lace detail at the top. The laces I plan on replacing. They were definitely a bit more of a cream than like white, but I don't mind that at all. The little kind of rose gold buckle and studs for those shoelaces is really nice. The heel and stuff is alright. It's a little bit wobbly in a way. I feel like you could, but also at the same time, when I was walking on concrete, because I took these out for a little bit, it was fine. But I feel like because I'm on carpet, I feel like it's a little bit more unstable in a way. But I feel like when you're out and about actually on thingy, it's fine. So, did I really? 5%? I'm gonna need to pause for a minute and then we come back to this later. And we're back. Right, so, what was I saying? Oh right, okay, so I have put on one of the size lower boots, which was the size 42. So this one is the size 42 one, and this one is the size 43 one. That kind of sounds like that. But yeah, this one's definitely too tight, particularly along the base and right at the back. And particularly along here and right at the back, like my foot is like right up against the zipper. It's also kind of hard to actually get into. I have to like really push my foot forward in order to get into it. So this would definitely be a size 6, I'd probably say. It isn't really crushing my toe though, but you can see like the lump of where my toe is because it's sticking out and pushing into it. The weird thing about them though is like I find that this has a lot more room at the top than this one does. And I would have preferred to have this much room on this one, but this one fits so much better, so I'm definitely keeping this one because this one's just too tight for me. So yeah, I would definitely say that the 43 for these types of boots is a 41 size or a size UK 7. So that's with those ones, because these ones were actually one of the ones that have that size range. Usually they only go up to 40, like the cloud print ones, platform trainers, that's what it was. Platform ones. So yeah, these ones I'll probably be giving away as well because they're just too small for me, but I'm 100% keeping these ones. So, alright, anyway, so that was basically that. That's pretty much everything that I had from AliExpress and Wish and all that jazz. Like, to be honest, I think a lot of it is kind of like you get what you pay for. Some of it is definitely better. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed looking at some of the stuff that I got. There's definitely some stuff that I would look into getting, but again, I think it's one of those things where it's up to your discretion what you get. And yeah, just be wary. I would definitely say on these types of websites, sometimes you do get a lot of comments that are like, oh, it's smaller than I expected, oh, it's bigger than I expected. So usually whenever I'm online shopping or whatever, particularly for clothes, I will have my measuring tape and I will measure and I will make sure, I will look at the sizing charts and all that jazz. So a lot of this stuff I was aware it was going to be tight on me or it wouldn't really fit particularly like loosely as it is shown to for certain things. Like for example, like this jumper. I feel like because the material of this jumper is a lot thicker, I feel like it would have been a little bit looser on me, but again, it's a thick jumper, so it is really nice quality though. Anyway, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe. Still weird to say that. Stick around if you enjoy. There'll be more stuff. So, see ya.